Joe in real life. So this morning I had the new Swans album on my streaming service. A lot of people don't know about the Swans. If you're a fan of really anything from Tool to the Decemberists, anything, if you like either of those bands or anything in between, kind of avant-garde rock, um, listen to Swans, dude. You're in for a treat. This is their 16th or 17th album, and they've had a hell of a career spanning post-punk to I'd almost call it prog metal to I don't know what the last three albums. I don't even know what you'd call them. But oh, it's so good. It's so good. I I've made no secret that I'm pretty distressed about my mom. She's in a bad way, and I'm being punished by kind of dark, mournful, regretful thoughts about her. And I'm really taking a beating inside. And I saw that album today and I started listening to it. And of course, when you're emotionally preoccupied by something, you hear those themes in everything, you know? But they're literally in this album. like, like I'm not implanting these themes. They are the themes. And it just feels so on the nose, or on point is more accurate. And it's dark and it's haunting and it's mournful and it's sad. Um, and it feels really good, strangely. It feels really right. If you don't listen to Swans, the album's called The Beggar. Give it a shot. Other albums you might like, To Be Kind and Seer. Their more recent albums are fantastic. But if you really get bitten by the bug, then dive into their discography. I think Filth. There are a ton of them, and they're worth listening to. Also, I want to make a playlist of the music that's really moved me of the new year, of the last 6 months, and I'll post it on YouTube Music. And if you're interested, you can listen to it. It'll be a lot of metal, but there will also be some more soothing hits. You'll have some Mars Volta. Um, you might have a Decemberist song. I don't know why I keep thinking of the Decemberists. I'm not a huge fan, but I'll tell you what, when that dude lands, he lands. He lands hard. Um, and some Swans, you know? And yeah, so look forward to that. Today for squats, this is my deload week for squats, and my deload week on squats is actually different than my proper deload week, which is a mistake that I made. I didn't plan it that way. But depending on how today goes, I might keep it. Um, I think I'm going to build up to a heavy single on the front squat, and then I'm going to take that weight on the back squat and do reps with it. That's my plan. That's literally the entirety of my plan. And it's not anything I've ever done before or ever even thought of before, but I kind of had a little brain baby this morning while listening to Swans, and I was like, man, that's a pretty good idea, right? That's not crazy, is it? I think it's a good idea. So that's what I'm going to try. Stay tuned. I'll let you know how it goes. All right. See you soon. So we're looking at 3 times speed. The whole workout took me about 35 minutes, and it was a great little workout. I really loved it. Honestly, I was listening to the album, like I said, The Beggar by Swans, and just feeling mournful and sad, and the music fit the mood, and just, you know, I've talked about this in the past, but it bears repeating. I have to be careful with indulging these feelings because I'll get kind of swooped up in them, And then, rather than just being sad, just being in pain, I won't feel that anymore. I'll feel like in love with my pain. That kind of martyr spiral, you know? And so normally a vibe like today, I would do my level best to crush before it got out of control, but I just didn't have the heart today. The album dropped. I'm gonna listen to it. You know, it's not like I can put it off until I'm in a better space in my feels. And I wouldn't do that anyway. I love Swans. I love them so much. So I gave myself this little half-hour vacation. I allowed myself to just kind of get as morose and regretful as possible while doing my squats. I worked up to 155 on the front squat. I had plans for 165 or 170, and you'll see as I go along, I was making 10-pound jumps, and then at 135 I accidentally jumped to 155. Not a big issue, but I definitely could feel it in the bar. And like, this is supposed to be my deload week, so I made a 20-pound jump. The rep moved great, but afterwards I was just like, do I really need to push that hard? I mean, it didn't feel like it was worth anything, you know? Like, I could absolutely have done those reps, but it was unclear to me that there would have been any advantage to it. And after doing a series of 10-pound jumps, even though it's only 10 more pounds, and I would have done that jump anyway, it just felt off. It just felt a little out of alignment, a little pitched, and I was like, nah. So I repped with 155 in the back squat afterwards, and that went about as well as I expected. I did 3 sets of 4, or that's not true. I did 2 sets of 4 and 1 set of 5. The first set felt terrible, actually awful. Which you're switching, you know, you're switching from the front squat to the back squat, and so, you know, it's gonna take a beat or two for your body to find that groove, which I expected. I was pitched way too far forward. My knees were wobbly. My hips were not ready. And the second set went fine. It was neither good nor bad. You know how that is. The weight moved. I have no complaints, but also I didn't feel great. I did nothing worth putting in my diary. The third set, I could have gotten 10 reps. I'm certain of that. I did the 4 like they were nothing, and then I just did a 5th because I just wanted to. And it was only at my last set of the day that I began to feel my blood get up, you know? And I was like, oh, I should grind. I should go to absolute failure. I definitely have another 4 reps, maybe 5. But that's when the little voice was like, hey buddy, hey sweet little guy, this is your deload week, man. And an AMRAP here would not be in alignment with a deload. And if I'm totally honest, it even kind of is. Like, I could have gotten away with it, you know? I would have probably recovered just fine. But I'm on a more conservative plan right now, and I'm getting the benefits from it. So, like, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is, this is a humble brag. I was mildly proud of myself for showing some restraint, which is a thing I'm not always super great about, and it's not always very easy for me to do. And that's good, you know? My day is clear. I'm going to continue listening to Swans. Swans in the last 10 years has been famous for these super long songs, ridiculously long, kind of instrumental songs. So, you know, when I say instrumental, not exactly instrumental, there's voice in it, but the voice is used more as an instrument than it is to convey any message, so I consider them instrumental. And I think in the Seer, there was a 20-something minute song, and in To Be Kind, there was like a low 30s minute song, and the Beggar, they have a 43-minute song. 43 minutes. So another genre of music I listen to is technical death metal. And just to put it in perspective, if you made a technical death metal album, a full album, that was 43 minutes long, all the reviewers would be saying that the album was too long. Like, too long by as much as 10 minutes, a full album. But Swans writes a 43-minute song, and it's gorgeous, and it's haunting, and as soon as I finish this, I'm just gonna start that song again and listen to it. I'll play some Tears of the Kingdom. I'll use it as my timer so that I don't play too long. Actually, that's a great idea. That's a perfect amount of video game time. Other than that, what do I got? I'm blue, man. I'm blue, but I'm okay. I met with my sponsor. We talked for 2 hours. Nothing profound happened. Basically, I took out the contents of my head and I put them down on his coffee table, and we looked at them and we examined all the moving pieces, and then we put them back in my head and I left. And it was great. Like, I'm not always convinced of the benefit of the Alcoholics Anonymous program, but I know that I benefited from that. And a lot of it seems like a pointless, just a kind of pointless amount of busy work, to keep you tied into the group and keep you working and keep you like thinking about your problem all the time, And I'm an introvert. I don't like that shit. I don't want to be doing little projects in the community at all, every day, at all hours. But there are extroverts in the world, and they do like that. And the program's for all of us, not just for me. So I forgive that. Anyway, every now and again, I'll do something in accordance with the program, and I experience great benefit. And this was just such a case, like my feelings are still my feelings. I still feel really, really regretful about the state my mother's in and my inability to do anything real about it. But I also know now beyond doubt that those feelings are useless, that I'm gonna have them, and I'm placed here to experience them, but they're not true. Like, A, I don't have the power to help her, and B, she doesn't want help. How am I gonna help somebody that doesn't want help? My mom's been on the bottom for so long that she's taught herself to breathe underwater. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? I'm not magic. These are my sets. These are my sets of 4. And yeah, sped up, you can't really see, but that was the second set. It went pretty well. It looked good, honestly. And I don't have any real complaints about it. My last set, which is coming up, was my set of 5, so I plan to only do 4. And like I said, I felt great on this set. It was the only set that I felt really, really physically great. Like my body was actually ready to work, which my body didn't feel bad, but it didn't feel good, It just felt regular. It just felt like it will do what I ask it without complaining. But that's all I'm gonna get. It took a long pause on this one. I must be walking around Anyway, this is my set of 5. And yeah, that's it for today. This is Joe in real life. I love you guys. Do your best to be kind to each other. You never know what somebody else is struggling with. And I'm going to try hard to do the same. Yeah, they're a little short on the lever, but they're good. So that's it for today. See you tomorrow.